Trudie Mason sitting in for Aaron again today. I'll be back in the newsroom as of Monday. We are bringing you a little bit of a news update, a story you've been hearing about in the news because people have been wondering what is going on with this landlord. It has to do with an apartment building in Lachine on Ivan Franco Street. That 47-unit apartment building has been without heat and hot water since early November. And the people there have been struggling to go about their daily lives while they struggle to get answers from their seemingly absentee landlord. And as a result, the borough has had to step in. We will get an update from the borough mayor of Lachine in just a moment. First, though, just to kind of paint the picture of what the tenants of that building have been dealing with, we welcome Vera, one of the people who lives in that building on Ivan Franco Street. Hello, Vera.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, it's pretty bad over there. This has been going on like even longer, you could say, because the landlord hasn't come in about a year, let's say in general, but like he just popped in, pumped out one time, and then ever since then he hasn't come around.
So when did you lose your heat and hot water? Did it happen all at once to everyone in the building, or was it
I think so, yeah. It happened all at once. Like, I mean, they had a problem once with something in the water tank and something, and the firemen came and they fixed the problem. And then because we have, the owner didn't pay his hydro bill of the building, which was $12,000. So each and every one of us are paying like $110 for the bailiff to pay his bill. So he's getting less on his part, the owner. And after that, it's made from this problem that this is why we have no hot water or heat.
How have you been coping? I can't imagine, especially at this time of year. How have you been coping without heat and hot water?
I've been coping with, I have a heater I bought last year already because last winter was not as warm as it is now. It's basically barely any heat. And I have a broken stove which is falling apart, so you have to...
We're having a little bit of trouble, I think, with the quality of your cell phone feed. So I'll ask you that question again. If I understood correctly, you bought a space heater last year because of a problem, and that's what you've been relying on to keep your unit, habitable this year?
Correct. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so the problem is that the heater was bought last winter, and we had basically barely any heat in then, and then the hot water was still there, and then now I'm surviving on my little heater, sweaters and sweatpants and all that when I go home, and I have my broken stove,
So your stove doesn't work either.
It works, but it's barely working. I mean, it's hanging on like a thread, and there's so many problems in this building. It's just the beginning, We have no. So you have to open your stove to get heat. And so when I'm doing that, of course, I'm paying my hydro more.
Yeah, because your space heaters really suck up power. There's no question about that. And showering, are you able to shower at home?
Oh, yeah, well, you do it the old-fashioned way. You just do it with, kettle water and a little soap and poopy and do your basic essential washing with the little sink. And to wash your hair, you have to wash your hair with in the sink, kitchen sink, and wash your hair there with the kettle water and hot water. And it feels good, to wash with hot water, but how much can you do without spilling it all over the place? And, there's so many problems in this building. It's that the hot water in that is just the beginning. And then we got cockroaches, you got broken fridges and stoves, you got water consumption, you got broken pipes, you got a generator in my building. Beside me, a guy has a generator going on.
A generator they're very noisy generators.
Yes, and I told the fire inspectors because the fire inspectors came today, and they're very noisy. It sounds like a washer is going on in his room, but I think it's a generator. So
strange. So the upshot is, have you been able to speak to the landlord?
No, not at all. He only collects his e-transfers, and that's about it.
And is there a janitor in the building?
No, they're so cheap that they don't hire anybody. People are just been like cleaning up the papers and sweeping whatever. I haven't even done anything. I'm just like, surviving, just coming to work and, working home, and that's it.
One of our texters wants to know, are you still paying full rent for this unit?
Well, for now, I'm lucky. I pay only $500, but it's only now because we're paying the bailiff I pay him 25% of my rent, so I'm paying like $410 now. So I've been sketchy. I sent him like $200 now from last month. I haven't been paid up now. Beginning of this month, I'm like all mixed up with everything right now because it's not fair. Why should I pay if everything's in there,
The very good question. Why should you pay? Vera, thank you for speaking to us on CJAD. We welcome now to CJAD the Borough Mayor of Lachine, Maja Vodanovic. Hello.
Hello, Trudie.
We understand that the city was able to intervene today.
Yes, finally. We've heard about this problem now about mid-December and we sent in we say avis and infractions to this landlord who we know. We've been dealing with them for 2 years, and we as well cannot get in touch with them. We have no answers. And now we finally got an answer from our legal department at the city, because we thought initially that we would need to go to court and get a court order that we can intervene, because we can't go into private property and do things. But today, our legal department said, go ahead, do what you have to do to restore the heat, and then we will, give the bill to the landlord afterwards.
So what happened when the municipal workers went into the building?
Well, they saw, first of all, I know that the door was locked, and I think they managed to get in, and what they saw is there's 2 boilers. So one is functioning, so that means part of the building probably does have heat or hot water. We don't know exactly what the boilers do, but one is working, and the other one has stopped working, and we think someone turned it off because there is a water leak somewhere. So it's probably gas that is heating the water, and then the water kind of runs through the building in pipes. And I've noticed when I walked into the building that the carpet at the entrance is completely soaked. And they think and the residents say that it's been soaked for a while now. So we think there is a pipe. There must be pipes leaking within the building. And now with the cold coming, we're really worried. So I think we need to do what needs to be done. But there was no plumbers available today. We've called seven different plumbers.
When then is someone going to be able to go? Will you be able to get someone in over the weekend, or are you looking at next week now?
That's what we're hoping for. We're hoping somebody comes in over the weekend to fix the heating system and to fix the hot water. We still haven't figured out what's what. Which boiler is heating the water, which boiler is heating the rest of the apartment. But we're trying to get it all figured out and trying to fix it all before everything freezes up.
Who is this landlord?
We don't know. We've never managed to see him or her. And the apartment, nobody answers the door. We don't get any answers from our bailiff letters. So we have it's a mystery.
Have they been paying the property taxes?
I don't know. Yes, they have, because that building wasn't up for sale for tax, because I checked.
Oh, so they haven't defaulted. So that's one bill they are paying. They may not be paying hydro, but they're paying the municipal tax bill to stay in good standing with the borough.
Yes.
Anything else, any other powers municipally that you can bring to bear on this landlord?
Well, I think on Sunday I will meet with the residents. I'm working with Vera to gather everybody, and we have a list and make an action plan, because we're stronger together, right? So with them and with the city, I think we'll get a hold of the landlord and straighten things up. Yeah. And with the media, you guys are doing a great job. All of us together, we'll get there.
This is just such a startling story. And, every now and then in Montreal, we hear about a slumlord that's, neglecting a building. But to let these folks go since November with no heat or hot water in the start of a Quebec winter, is really not something we hear all that often.
It's incredible. And, last year in May of 2023, there was huge amounts of garbage piling up. And we were wondering what was going on, because they have a service, garbage collection, and they have a huge container in the back. And the city finally went, and we realized that the container, the bottom was broken. So they couldn't lift it, and to empty out the container. So it's been over a year now that the city is actually renting a container and emptying it.
I hope you're going to be dinging the landlord for the cost of that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see, but I think everything should be fixed within the building, and so we'll put pressure. We'll put pressure on the landlord to get things done.
All right, Borough Mayor Vodanovic, thanks very much for the update. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
We've been speaking to the Borough Mayor of Lachine about the situation at that apartment on Ivan Franco. I looked that up on the map, by the way, because I grew up in Dorval and Lachine, and I had a friend who I think lived on Ivan Franco, so I kind of knew the basic area. But if you picture where the Gallery Lachine is on 32nd Avenue, it's the big housing complex, multiple apartment buildings across 32nd Avenue from the Gallery Lachine shopping center where the Maxi is. That's where that building is located. Well, best of luck to those residents. I hope their situation improves, because they tell us we're heading into a polar vortex. And can you imagine trying to stay warm with a space heater in an apartment in Montreal during a polar vortex? And you can't even take a hot shower to warm up. I hope that situation changes.